Thank you, Leticia. Hey, Drew, we got a pretty interesting matchup in front of us for the Greyhounds. Obviously going to be coming in knowing that maybe they're a better team coming in, right? But how do you think their mindset's going to be here? Because they can't just give up and just go out there and, play almost like a trap game. They got to make sure they can put away this Ohio Christian team.
No, they got to play every game like they have been playing over the last couple throughout the year. I mean, 10-2 on the year, doing pretty well so far. And we talked about it before we were out on air, that bully ball. I mean, that's the way we got to do it here at the University of Indianapolis. We have players that are 6'11", 6'7", and way bigger than what Ohio Christian is offering. So we just got to get the ball down low, get it inside the paint, and I think they come away with a pretty handily victory here today.
Yeah, it's like Leticia said, the Greyhounds, they've got a great opportunity to bully inside the paint. They've got so much size. One of which you see there on the left side of the screen, Kendrick Choa, 6'7". The rest of the lineup's here with Josiah Tynes. He's the point guard. He'll be facilitating, leads the team in assists. You've got Jesse Bingham. He's the team's best player by far. Coach Corsaro loves this guy. Great, leads the team in points, one of the top point getters in the entire conference. He also is great when it comes to dishing the ball. He gets plenty of rebounds. Bingham's the guy to watch. Then you've got Nickerson out there starting with Aaron Etherington as well. Those are your starting five for Indianapolis. As far as Ohio Christian, let's take a look at some of these guys for the Trailblazers. It's going to start with Jimmy Salamone. He's going to be the team's leading scorer and facilitator of the ball as well. Looking at some of these other guys on the screen, we've got Devin Miller. He's going to be the team's top player. You don't see him on that list, but he will be starting here tonight. Titus Burns, another starter. Christopher Richardson as well. And Nick Phillips, most of these starters, 9 or more points on the year on average. We talked about Devin Miller earlier in the open, 14 points, 8 rebounds. He is a great player.
They're a pretty solid team through and through. They just are going up against a Greyhound team that's playing really good basketball right now at the end of the year, technically.
The final game of the year, and it's in front of us. Kendrick Choa to receive the tip here. We'll see what they can do to get things started. For the team in blue, it's Christopher Richardson and the Trailblazers ready to get things underway. And it's Choa to win the tip. Goes off to his teammate Tynes, the point guard. And we are underway. Going to move the ball around the arc to start off this contest. Here's Williams. He's going to go up with a nice little dish there, but it's poked away. How about that play from Christopher Richardson?
Yeah, good defensive start on that side of the ball for the Trailblazers. They really got it together there on the defensive end and caused a turnover for the Greyhounds.
A full court trap here for the Greyhounds defense. We've seen this quite a bit over the last few games, especially against this lesser talent. Greyhounds just trying to see if they can test out what they got in this full court trap and maybe use it when conference play starts up next week. Great job by the defense to force the turnover, and now Indianapolis is going to get the ball to go here. Still scoreless through the first 40 seconds or so.
UINDY is forcing their opponent to over 14 turnovers a game, so they are pretty good on the defensive end.
The number one defense in the GLVC. And look at this, a nice slam to start things off. It's Kendrick Choa.
I love the way Kendrick Choa plays. I mean, he plays very physical on defense, as you can see right there, and especially on the offensive side as he puts it up with a two-hand jam.
Here's a feed inside of Choa again, and it's stolen away again. The second time it's been poked away. This time the Greyhounds get it back and go for three. In and out. So after Ohio Christian missed the layup on the last drive, we'll see what they can do here. And again, an undersized lineup. But man, they're playing with a lot of heart. We've already seen a couple nice little pokeaways. Here's a deep three, and it's Salamone who can't get it to go.
Kendrick Choa with the rebound there.
And look at this, already a feed on the other end. It's a block. How often do you see that? Nick Phillips, team's top player, tallest player that is, 6'7", and he goes up and does a nice job denying Choa the points, but instead we'll have to see a couple free throw opportunities here. Jacoby Robinson to the line.
Robinson shooting 80% from the line this year, much improved from last year as he struggled a little bit from the charity stripe.
Here's the first one, successful. And the team as a whole, Drew, struggles from the charity stripe. UINDY's not the best free throw shooting team, and not by far, but they make do. They're still able to put up plenty of points. So far this season, shooting just under 70% from that charity stripe, something that's been an issue over Coach Corsaro's 3-year tenure as the head coach.
They've gotten better over the 3 years, though. As you can see, their percentage going up each year. It's just a little bit underperforming.
Going around the arc, good perimeter defense from the Greyhounds, of course, comes with the territory being the top defensive team in the Great Lakes Valley Conference. And again, for Ohio Christian, they're not in the GLVC, they're not in the GMAC, they're not in any of these conferences that UINDY's used to playing. As we see a deep three here, forced and missed. It's Tynes with the rebound. But for OCU, hey, they're in the River States Conference of the NAIA, Division II. So we see a lot of contact there already. We're going to see a lot of contact.
I think that ball was pushed out of bounds there by the Trailblazers, and the Greyhounds will get the ball underneath their own scoring basket.
Thought about a shot, but instead, here's Williams from three. Didn't want the toots because he took the three but missed. And the Greyhounds kind of slow out of the gate from downtown. A few missed shots already.
Trailblazers are still looking for their first basket of the game.
Can't get it there. It might be a low-scoring game here. On the other end, here's Williams with a nice little runner. Still can't get that to go. The Greyhounds can't make it from 10 feet or 20 feet. It's been a struggle, but they can make it from inside, and that's what Choa was attempting there before he was hit hard and will be sent to the line. Already a couple of quick fouls from Nick Phillips. You gotta imagine we're gonna see his replacement come in here in a moment. That'll be in the form of Cassius Bell. And the reason that Phillips started, he doesn't typically start, Drew, but he's got a little bit of higher size, right? 6'7". He can try to contend inside, and he's making good physical plays, just a little too much contact. So we'll see Cassius Bell come in, who's 6'5", a little bit smaller, but more of a talented player, 11 points a game.
Yeah, I was just about to bring that up, that the Trailblazers really are lacking in size, and I think that's a way that the Greyhounds can take advantage of them, especially since we have somebody like Choa and Steinfeld that are both pretty big presences on the boards, and really Ohio Christian doesn't have that. I mean, they're averaging around 37 rebounds a game, and they really haven't faced a team that has the size that the Greyhounds have.
Choa perfect on that trip to the line. Also an area of his game where he can kind of struggle. He's just 57% from that charity stripe, but hey, he hits both there. Good start to the game for him. Moving the ball around, trying to get inside. Nice little mid-range shot, and another miss. Still a lid on that basket. And there another foul. Too much contact on Jesse Bingham. Picking up, that one was Caleb Smith. One of the team's point guards, averages 8 points a game. You mentioned it, they've got a good starting lineup. They also have a pretty deep bench, so it's been impressive to see.
Yeah, and Caleb Smith is one of those players, too, that arguably could have started here today for the Trailblazers. His first start of the year, he had 18 points. So, I mean, he has proven that he can do it. Just wondering why he didn't start here this afternoon.
Travel from Nickerson, who comes in off the bench as the sixth man, but he can't keep both feet inside as he has to step out there in pursuit of the ball. Another turnover. Seen more turnovers than we have points here for OCU. It's been kind of a sloppy start, but of course, as you can imagine, both teams, they had an extended Christmas break, eating plenty of ham and not playing as much basketball over the last week or so. It's a big reason why they're playing this game. Just knock a little bit of rust off, and how about that? No rust for Jesse Bingham as he slams it out.
Jesse Bingham playing that bully ball down low, putting that one into the bleachers. Trailblazers will maintain possession there.
Can't even get the layup to go, but a foul. Trying to drive in was Cassius Bell, and I'm excited to see what he can provide to the table. He's from Indiana, Terre Haute, that is. He had 10 points and 5 rebounds off the bench against Findlay. Of course, Ohio Christian, they played a couple D2 schools here over the last couple weeks. They played Findlay, only lost by 10. That was a high-scoring 94-84 game. Then they lost by 30 in a bit of a high-scoring affair against Cedarville as well. So that's kind of where we can gauge how they're going to play against the Greyhounds today. That 10-point loss against Findlay just on Thursday, it's got their hopes up for this game. Those are both considered exhibitions again for the Trailblazers. First 2 points from the line. Can't make a bucket, but if you can get the free throws, that'll go a long way. Here's Williams going to come in with a little bit of a riser and hits it. How about that? 8-2.
I like the way when he shot that, he kind of faked out in midair and then still followed through with that bucket. Huge shot there by Bruno.
Another three, top of the key, and it's drained by Caleb Smith. He hits under a third of those, but that time it's successful.
He has double figures in his last 3 or 4 games, so he is a threat to score.
Off the bench as well, had 10 points against Findlay. Now some good perimeter pressure here from the defense. How about that? Doesn't matter for Bingham, who slides it in. Man, he's such a tactician inside. He does such a good job maneuvering the traffic, and he's hard to guard.
Jesse with the Euro down the lane, put it up for 2.
Step back three. It's drained. A bit of an awkward shot. Doesn't matter, Josh Wilhelm. Or I beg your pardon, Titus Burns drains that one from Winchester, Ohio.
5 minutes in this game, and the Trailblazers are starting to find their stride as they've put up 8 points in a row.
And you know, for Burns, he's starting to find his stride on the season. Didn't start a game until we got to December. That second game of December started his first, and man, he's been doing a great job since then, averaging 10 points a game on the year. He's got 6 games in double figures. He's playing pretty well. How about we go down to the sideline with Leticia?
As always, Coach Corsaro is always on his feet. Off of the benches, looking a little frustrated at his players for not being as quick and as good as he wanted in the transitions. But Kendrick Cho is already paying his dues at the start of this game. More coming up next right here on the GLVC Sports Network and UINDY TV.
Hey, it's Giselle here on 88.7 WICR.
88.7 The Diamond, the only jazz and classical station in Indianapolis, completely led by the students of the University of Indianapolis. Listen to us on iHeartRadio, TuneIn app, FM radio, HD radios, or even on our website at wicronline.org, a different kind of public radio.
Back here inside of Nickerson Hall. Greyhounds with an early lead. Not by a lot, though, 8-10. The Greyhounds up by 2, but it's Ohio Christian with the ball trying to tie or take the lead.
Yeah, they really started to find their stride, forcing the Greyhounds to call a timeout. And it's just something that UINDY has to kind of contend with. I mean, not only up 2 now, and take this team seriously.
Moving the ball around here. You're right, they do need to take this team seriously. They've had some good stretches. Ball goes out of bounds, though, in favor of the Greyhounds. It'll be Robinson to take the ball up at point guard. We'll see him and Tynes switch off throughout. A big man who can handle the ball, pretty dangerous, and he is just that. The transfer a couple years ago from McKendree University, former GLVC all-freshman team player. How about this? Inside is Choa. Misses it, though. Can't get a hold, but he gets the rebound. Another one for him. Dishes out. And that's an air ball. Can't get it to go. Jarvis Walker coming off his career game. But now look at the other way. Missed shot a little too shy from downtown was Eliza Moore, but the points are successful in the harm. Devin Miller to the line. Have not seen Miller much yet today, but look at that. He finally shows what he's capable of inside.
The Trailblazers brought a crowd with them here today, and they are all in front of us, and they are cheering very loudly as they have tied up this ball game. And UINDY's kind of stunned. They're kind of just playing this ball that they really don't have an offensive swing going right now, as we saw in that last possession there, as David Ejob missed that wide open three.
There actually is a bit of a crowd here from both teams today. I haven't seen a ton this season in terms of attendance, but this might be the highest attended game of the year for the Greyhounds, and it's on New Year's Eve. How about that? Here's a three, and it's drained from Josiah Tynes. He is such a good player. Top 15 in the conference in assists, top 12 in three-point percentage, and you see why. He shoots over 40. Nice little turnaround, though. How about that? Titus Burns with a great shot.
Yeah, really great shot there. Great shot selection from him, gritting that separation and putting them up, tying the ball game.
And now he's the one to defend Walker on the other end, that left side of the floor. Here's the corner. Nice feed inside, and can't get the layup to go. The Greyhounds have missed some shots that we're typically accustomed to seeing them hit with ease. Is it just rust?
I think that they just need to make a couple shots, see the ball go through the basket, and then they'll be fine.
The runner unsuccessful, but blocking foul to the line will go Bell Jr. Already the Greyhounds' fourth charged foul of this half. We might see plenty of bonus shots once we get inside of that 10-minute mark. Here's Bell, misses the first.
Bell's an 86% free throw shooter on the season. And he's really one to score. I mean, not starting today, but he has a season high of 22. He has 6 games this year with 10 plus. So he's someone to really watch out for as this game gets going.
And you know, we started every game up until that December 13th contest. Missed a couple weeks there, though. I assumed injury. He's been back, though. Didn't come in directly to the starting lineup. He's had to pay his dues on the bench, and boy, he's doing a great job coming off the bench. How about that? 10 points and 5 rebounds when he came as the 6th man against Findlay at D2 GMAC school, and he's had a good start.
Very heads-up play there by Kendrick Choa. As the ball was going out of bounds, threw it off. Looked to be Christopher Richardson, so the Greyhounds keep possession of the ball.
Here's Tynes to cross the timeline. They'll head over to the left wing. Here's Bingham. Boy, he's so dangerous from mid-range, but just got away from him. Rebound to his teammate. Choa puts it in. Looks like they're going to give him the bucket and the and one. Send him to the line. A lot of turnovers and a lot of fouls today already. 6 turnovers collectively and 7 personals. How about that? Make that 8 now. A couple of them have been for and ones. Easy opportunities to score each team has had, and the Greyhounds trying to complete the old-fashioned three-point play. Choa with a stellar start from the free throw line. He's got 7 total points, 3 of them from that charity stripe. And how about this, 5 rebounds? He just hit his 500th rebound in that game, the win against Purdue Northwest that Leticia talked about pregame. Here's this little layup. Can't get it to go, but a foul again. Make that foul number 9 collectively, the 5th for the OA team. But for Choa, man, he's been such a dominating player for this team, and he's now 26th all time on the Greyhounds rebounding list. He's just a junior. He's got a couple more years.
And over the time that I've been here watching him play, he's really grown into someone that is just a great presence on the court, off the court. He's just really been really good for this basketball program.
Bingham is shy. Here's trying to get his 3rd point of this early afternoon. Can't get either. How often do we see that? He's kicking himself as well. Jesse Bingham, a 63% free throw shooter, but misses both. And now here's Bell. He's been a good spark of offense for the team. So is Caleb Smith, who hit a 3. He'll take another one here, leans into it, and a little too short. Looks like a rust shot, maybe looking to draw some contact, but he can't, and he misses.
It did look like he was trying to run into somebody there as he pulled up. Bad shot selection for him, just trying to draw that foul.
Eja from downtown. David Eja, the transfer from an NAIA school at St. Francis. And man, he hits a nice one there.
Eja provides a great spark of offense for this team.
Maybe another spark. They can't get it to go. It's a missed shot there from Christopher Richardson. Shoots just under 40% from downtown. Averages 9 a game, but can't get that one to go. Here's all the way around the world, inside, back out. It's Tynes now. Every player touched the ball, and it resulted in a triple. Josiah Tynes. A couple made threes early.
Great ball movement there by the Greyhounds. As you said, they put it around the world, found the open man, put it in for 3.
Missed their first 3 from downtown. They've hit the last 3, though. Here's another deep one. That's the Greyhounds with some success from downtown. Not the same for Bell's team as he misses one. Bingham with a double team has to get off to Walker, who ends that successful run from downtown.
Walker has some great defense. Not much on the offensive side, but his defense is incredible.
I will tell you about how good he was offensively against Purdue Northwest, though, in a bit. How about that little mid-range J from Christopher Richardson? Walker's got the ball now. We'll try to navigate traffic. Eja from straightaway 3, and he drains it. David Eja with another nice shot from downtown. But for Jarvis Walker, a career-high 26 points against Purdue Northwest. Was perfect on his 10 shots from the field, hit all 3 triples. He played plenty of offense in that game, but how about this, some offense on the other end. Richardson finally gets one to fall, and that one is successful. How about that? What a start. The Greyhounds start to open things up after that first media timeout. We're now at the second. That means we get to head down to the sideline with Leticia. Leticia, what do you have for us?
So the whole UINDY bench is very excited here, and all I hear the players talking about is how they need to defend, because this is a high-scoring team from Ohio Christian, and so they really need to focus on that. But we'll have more next with here on UINDY TV and the GLVC Sports Network.
Award-winning news coverage. Brought to you by ethical journalists that care about you. We have you covered on crime, latest on sports, and the best in entertainment. This is UINDY TV News.
Back here at Nickerson Hall is each team preparing to come back out of this media timeout and see what they can get going. For Indianapolis, open things up with a bit of a run here. They made 4 of their last 5 from the field, including 4 of their last 5 from downtown. It's been an impressive stretch for UINDY, shooting almost exclusively from the 3-point stripe after they tried to go inside a little too often, didn't work. How about this, though? It's a turnover. Tynes can't connect with Williams, and that will give the ball to OCU.
Ohio Christian is playing pretty well for the start of this game. I mean, they're hanging in there, only down a couple of baskets right now, and their defense has really been what is keeping them alive.
Well, Leticia mentioned it in the open too. Corsaro says that they're really good in transition. They move quickly, including this little look here. How about this? Over to the corner. They're quick. They play good defense. They do a good job getting in and trying to poke check you quite often. So they're playing really hard, and it's showing. Here's a 3, and it's blocked. Sean Craig, the freshman, knocks that one out, and there's a foul.
That was a big height differential there, as we saw Will Morrison, 5'10", try to shoot it over the 6'7" Sean Craig.
And that's also something that Leticia talked about earlier, is the size difference. The tallest player on the floor for Ohio Christian, 6'7", and Nick Phillips doesn't see a lot of run on the floor. They don't see a lot from these taller guys, and see a lot from guys that are 6'5", 6'2", and then obviously, you know, the leading scorer is 5'9". There's not a lot of height here from the Trailblazers. For the Greyhounds, though, you're guaranteed, for the most part, to have at least 2 guys that are 6'6", 6'7", or taller on the floor. And then when Steinfeld comes in, he's got a 6'11" height, so almost 7 foot there. It's going to be interesting.
Even though the Greyhounds are starting to connect on their 3-point baskets, I'd like to see them get the ball down low since they have such a big height advantage.
Craig bleeding out the shot clock. Great defense here. 3 to shoot, and he does with a layup. How about that? Ejah maneuvering his body and twisting his way for a shot.
That's what I'm talking about. As soon as the shot clock starts to wind down, they go down to the paint. And even if it was an awkward shot there by Ejah, still went in for 2.
And you know it's got to be the big game plan. Corsaro loves feeding his bigs. He loves getting those easy shots, and he's got a great opportunity here with that size advantage that he's going to be giving the ball inside quite often. Ejah picks up his first foul, team's 5th. The Trailblazers with the inbound. Devin Miller. Greyhounds done a great job neutralizing him. Just 3 points on the day. Here's an inside little hook, and it's good over the head of Ejah.
And that was one heck of a little shimmy there by Jimmy Salamone. Puts it up with the left hand for 2.
That's why the 5'9" guy leads the team in scoring. Top 7 in the River States Conference in that category as well. He's playing good defense there as well in Tynes. How about that? Who needs size? Drew, maybe I can go put on some basketball shoes. Nice little mid-range J, but it's a little too short from Bingham. Bingham just hasn't quite looked right. A lot of these shots just falling a little short. Poked out of bounds by Williams. And Jesse Bingham just 2 points today. He's short on both his free throws. Made one of his 2 field goals. Does have 4 assists, though. He's making good passes. His shots just aren't quite the Jesse Bingham passes we're used to seeing.
Let's go back a second here and take just a rewind in your mentals here about that spin there by Jimmy Salamone. Wow, I thought that was a really good play in transition there for the Trailblazers.
A turnover, though, as we see the travel from Titus Burns. But, man, you're right. Salamone, he's a shifty player. He's a great scorer on all 3 levels. And he uses his size. Bit of a smaller guy, like we mentioned, but he's got the speed to get past you. He can move around, navigate traffic really well, attack the basket, or step back and hit a nice 3. He's been impressive to watch.
And only as a sophomore and leading the team in scoring right now is kind of impressive.
Inside, the junior slams it for his 2nd hammer. Kendrick Choa. He's having himself a good start today. 9.6 rebounds. The inside drive, a little stop and kick out. And it's stolen away. On the other end, a bit of a hack, and that's the foul. Bonus shots from this point on when Indianapolis gets fouled. This doesn't matter, though. It's going to be 2 shots regardless as Tynes gets hit hard. Brings us to the media timeout, and, man, the Greyhounds, they're holding on to a bit of a lead. We thought we would see a lot more scoring here. A bit of a difference on the scoreboard, but here we are, 29-20. Let's head to break. More next on UINDY TV and the GLVC Sports Network.
Hey, it's Giselle here on 88.7 WICR.
88.7 The Diamond, the only jazz and classical station in Indianapolis, completely led by the students of the University of Indianapolis. Listen to us on iHeartRadio, TuneIn app, FM radio, HD radios, or even on our website at wicronline.org, a different kind of public radio.
Nickerson Hall, south side of Indianapolis, the Greyhounds. How about Coach Corsaro? You see him there over that left elbow of Aaron Etherington. He's leading this team. He's in his 3rd year with the Greyhounds. 40-25, a pretty good record, especially considering he lost his first 7 in that COVID year. He's been an outstanding coach here for the Greyhounds, and they just continue to get better. Off to one of their better starts in the last 10 years or so. 10-2 is the squad. They're undefeated in non-conference play. We'll see if they can continue that here today. Coach Corsaro has been good play.
Yeah, he has really built a program here at the University of Indianapolis. Like you said, during that COVID year, he kind of had a rocky start to start off his career. And now
he had a brand new roster, though. You can't really blame him.
No, yeah.
These guys trying to learn how to play together when they're not able to be together.
Now 40-25 over 3 years, 10-2, best start in a while for the Greyhounds, probably since that 2016 season.
Inside, how about Miller working on Choa, and Choa wins, knocks it out of bounds. OCU ball, but how about Kendrick Choa just bullying on the inside?
No, yeah, we've talked about it pretty much the entire first half. He is someone that once he gets going during a game, really hard to stop. I mean, we've seen 2 slams from him on the offensive end, and on the defensive end, he's just been a force in the lane. Nobody can really get around him to put up a shot.
He's been a force his entire career with the Greyhounds. Another inbound after some good, tough defensive plays here by Indianapolis. Miller again working on Choa. This time blocked again.
Great defensive block there by Kendrick Choa. Denying the basket.
Yeah, travel. Tried to go with the Euro step, decided to pass it. Should have just went for the shot. Probably could have got away with it, but travel. Trailblazers gifted with the possession. The 5th turnover for Indianapolis. OCU has 6 of their own. It's been a sloppy game. Still high scoring, though. It's been impressive. The drive met with resistance from Walker. How about that? Fadeaway successful. Titus Burns with a pretty shot.
That really was. I mean, he had to work for it, but he got it up and put it through.
Getting it up, but can't put it through is Tynes from downtown. Rebound goes to Miller. It's his 4th. Averages so far this year 8. Layup unsuccessful. Salamone tried his best, couldn't get it to go on this tough defense. And now again, inside, trying to find his way up to the bucket, can't. Rebound number 5 for Miller. From downtown, missed shot. Another miss from Cassius Bell. Started with a spark early, he slowed down though.
Both teams really need to try and find something to get going offensively here. Both teams have gone cold over the last couple of minutes.
Well, for the Greyhounds, looks like they're going to try to slow things down and run an actual offensive play. We'll see if they can. Inside, has to kick it back out, gets it to Tynes. The wild pass leaves him wide open from the stripe, and he hits it. Jesse Bingham. And boy, it's probably good for him to see another shot go through. Hasn't hit a shot since about the 3rd or 4th minute. That's his 4th point.
Yeah, like you mentioned, if you can just see one go through as he blocks away a shot there, if he can just see one go through, he can get going and hopefully provide a spark to this offense that has been kind of cold.
The shot was made, but an offensive foul will negate it. A turnover on the stat sheet will give OCU the ball. How about the Greyhounds, though, on defense? You mentioned how Bingham had that block. That's their 5th block. How about that? 5 blocks already here in just the first half as a team. And everyone's getting up there for this block party.
That's something you really don't see. I mean, even though the Greyhounds do have some size, they normally don't block a lot of shots. And they've really, like you said, we're having a block party here in Nickerson Hall this afternoon.
Choa's got 2 blocks of his own. Smith crosses the timeline. Defense not allowing any penetration. They'll try it here, though. Has to spin around and throw up a pretty poor shot. How about the defense of Sean Craig, a freshman known for his scoring, but he can get in there with the best of them.
That's the same exact shot that Titus Burns put up on the last possession.
Charging up high, can't get the shot, but he's fouled. Again, these big men just continue to foul the Greyhounds. It's been their only way to stop the offense, but it's not going to result in a whole lot of success come that second half. That was Christopher Richardson. Sends Walker to the line.
I mean, I get it being all about physicality, but using those fouls up this fast and here in the first half is really not going to bode well for them as this game gets going later on in. And I mean, both teams are going to have trouble keeping players on the floor.
Already 8 fouls, half of those committed by the 2 big men. Christopher Richardson has a couple, Nick Phillips with a pair. Just not a recipe for success when you have to keep taking those guys out of the game.
And they're already lacking on size, so as soon as you get your big men out of there, UINDY is going to take advantage of that and then start to drive the paint.
That's Burns, who will take the ball up. Full court pressure by just one defender, so they got rid of the trap for the time being. Here's Miller. He's going to go up strong. River State's Conference Player of the Week about a month ago. Misses a shot, but after the mishandle, they'll have the ball.
A little bit of a miscommunication there by David Ejah and Ben Nickerson. I mean, you're on the same team, guys. Just got to two-hand the ball and come back down with it.
Nick Phillips re-enters the game as a substitution from Belize. Again, he's playing with 2 fouls here early. Averages 5 points and an impressive 4 rebounds. Against Finley, just his 3rd start on Thursday. He had 6 points and 3 of 3 shooting. Today marks his 4th start of the season. From 3, instead he steps on the out-of-bounds line, negates the long 2, give the Greyhounds the ball with another turnover. Caleb Smith can't pay attention to where his feet land.
It's a good shot there by Caleb Smith. Just legs a little bit too long.
Walker comes behind the timeline to corral it. Looking with a lot of contact, but passes it away. No harm, no foul. From the corner, Jarvis Walker, too strong. He's missed a couple from downtown. They're going to say it over the back there. Looks like they called it against Titus Burns when Sean Craig tried to go up, so he'll be sent to the line. How about Sean Craig? Came out his first couple games lightning hot, especially from downtown. Would hit plenty of shots, shooting very efficiently. One of the top shooters in the conference for the first month or so, but he's kind of slowed down.
Yeah,
Poked away by Ejah. Here's Williams. He'll step up, fakes the shot, but now it's kicked back out. Ejah from downtown. Craig, mid-range, hits it. Sean Craig's got the size to do those things inside, as well as the skill to hit from 3.
Yeah, as we were talking about his three-point shooting, 14 for 26 from downtown this year, but has gone ice cold over the last 3 games, only 1 for 6.
Nice layup from Devin Miller. And he's been the recipe for success here for the Trailblazers. Get the ball inside to Devin Miller and let him go to work. Walker defended tough by Eliza Moore. Williams, mid-range from the right elbow, but can't get it to go. Clanks off the iron. Rebound by the big, strong Christopher Phillips. He has to find an outlet, and he can't. Goes out of bounds. Greyhounds ball, another turnover. That's the 8th turnover for the NAIA squad, and that brings us to another media timeout. With that, we'll go down to the sideline with Leticia Vaselli.
Just as this last media timeout, Coach Corsaro took the time to show his players that they need to strengthen their outside of the arc defense, and they've done exactly that and pushed Ohio Christian back as much as they can. The Trailblazers are keeping a very good effort despite being undersized. But for now, we'll be right back right here on UINDY TV and the GLVC Sports Network.
Award-winning news coverage. Brought to you by ethical journalists that care about you. We have you covered on crime, latest on sports, and the best in entertainment. This is UINDY TV News.
A little bit of holiday play here from Nickerson Hall. The Greyhounds with the lead on New Year's Eve. It was a year ago today on New Year's Eve that they hosted East-West University, another low-level NAIA school. They won 105-61 in that game, so we thought it'd be a bit of a similar outcome today, but OCU, they're holding their own.
Both teams are just a little bit sloppy on the offensive end, but other than that, poised for a pretty good game here as the later stages of this game take on.
Choa goes up strong and gets another couple. How about that? He's hit double figures in scoring. He's only a rebound away from a double-double. And Drew, we're in half one.
Yeah, we've been talking about him the whole game. He's just a physical presence on both ends, and he's great.
Sean Craig jumps the lane, but ball goes out of bounds on him, so it'll be the Trailblazers who continue to hold possession. Jimmy Salamone will be the one to inbound it. Looking for a bit of a spark here on offense before they head to the locker room. They got about 2 minutes and 40 seconds to find something to do here. Inside, little fadeaway from the big man. Can't get it to go with a rebound from Miller. Miller unsuccessful, but his teammate cleans things up. Camden Primer with a great shot.
And it's not like the Trailblazers are playing bad either. They're just getting some unfortunate blocks and misses on their end.
Driving inside, launches it out of bounds. Missed opportunity there. Yet another turnover. It's a 15th turnover of the game collectively. The Greyhounds own almost half of those with 7.
And they're not one to turn the ball over very much, only averaging 11 on the year.
Miller feeds it to Richardson. Here's a 3, a couple steps behind the arc, and that's the reason why it was short. Rebound, Sean Craig. Can't get it to go. Chapman Faulkner. Craig from downtown left wing, and he drains it. It's been a long time coming for Sean Craig to hit one from downtown. Been slow, but that time, maybe he can heat things up.
Good to see him starting to put the ball through the hoop again there from beyond the arc.
Quick drive inside, stolen away from Craig again. What a few minutes he's been having. Just too quick of a pass and a poor spot from Salamone. And now the Greyhounds will slow things down. Eja waiting for his chance to come into the game, but first it's Choa inside. Nice little hook shot, and it's successful.
Yeah, Choa's playing out of his mind here on New Year's Eve. Really wanting to start the new year off great.
Missed shot, rebound again from Craig.
And Choa with 11. Rebound away from that double-double that you were talking about earlier.
Shot successful. Greyhounds lead over 20 now. Seems like the Trailblazers maybe just moving a little too fast. And they're forcing some shots that they can't hit.
I mean, you talked about it earlier, how their coach Cosaro described them.
Miller from downtown.
Described them best as a transition team. So if they have to get set in an offense and UINDY gets to set up their defense, they really don't have a chance to score.
Greyhounds just enjoyed their largest lead of the game when they were up 21. They're going to try to match that, but they can't. Just a few seconds to go. Here's Craig doing it all himself when he's fouled. A second to go. He'll be sent to the line for 2.
And that was a big offensive play for them, trying to put them up 20 going into halftime.
How about today Sean Craig is having? 5 points so far, but 4 rebounds. 2 assists as well. He's having some good minutes. Misses the first, though. Good news for the Trailblazers. They don't have to go in with that 20-point lead on their head. Just might be 19 or 18. We'll regroup at halftime and see what they can come up with on the other end. Craig, nothing but net for number 2. A second to go. Launches the shot. Won't be good regardless, and wasn't anywhere on target anyway. Halftime, 48-29 the score. What a start the Greyhounds have had. They're really putting up some points, and with that, let's hear from Leticia.
As the first half comes to an end, UINDY's defense has been on fire, not allowing Ohio Christian to get high in their scoring. But 2 things that have been very impressive for me to see here from the sidelines is how involved Coach Corsaro is with his players, always giving them the best strategies and supporting them when they get down on the floor. And the Greyhounds haven't gotten the hang of it more and more time, every time throughout the media timeouts. And now the crowd has gotten bigger and gone wild with this game. We'll watch the second half when we come back right here on UINDY TV and the GLVC Sports Network.
across divisions, sports, championships, and schools for nearly 500,000 student athletes. College sports create lifelong opportunity, and that starts with education. We've raised the academic bar, so more are earning degrees, creating healthier campuses by working with the nation's brightest minds, and making sure more have the chance to succeed and are supported on their journey. But beyond the numbers, it's about opportunity, and we're working to provide it for every student athlete.
To them, the whole world looks like an opportunity, one to be seized, built upon, and made better for their sport and the people around it. To student athletes, every opportunity is a chance to change what could be and show the world what opportunity can do.
Number 32, Kyle Hornsby. Inside the 30. Touchdown. Michaela Burgess.
An incredible finish by Hall. The NCAA and its member schools offer nearly 500,000 college athletes a path to go pro in something other than sports. Learn more at ncaa.org.
I pledge.
I pledge.
I pledge. I pledge.
I am an NCAA student athlete.
And I pledge to be a champion of unity
on my team, on my campus, and in my community.
I pledge to embrace differences and strive for inclusion and collaboration.
I pledge to stand against racism, hate, and discrimination.
I pledge to strive for love, care, and forgiveness.
I pledge to stand against silence, deceit, and obscurity.
I pledge to strive for dialogue, truth, and understanding.
I pledge to stand against fear and doubt.
I pledge to strive for trust and belief in one another.
I pledge to stand against complacency and stagnancy.
I pledge to strive for change and growth.
I commit to supporting my fellow student athletes in all circumstances that impact them.
I commit to both choosing unity personally and encouraging it for all.
I pledge these things because we are stronger together.
United as one.
In life, things aren't scripted.
If you're an athlete, we need people like you and translate those skills to officiating.
You can get a lot out of it. It happens in every town, in every game.
We never have a perfect game, but the rewards always outweigh the negativities.
Number 32, Kyle Hornsby. Inside the 30, touchdown. Michaela burns it.
An incredible finish by Hall.
The NCAA and its member schools offer nearly 500,000 college athletes a path to go pro in something other than sports. Learn more at ncaa.org/opportunity.
In NCAA Division II, student athletes leave a lasting impression on their communities. That's because Division II student athletes want to make a difference and truly be part of their surrounding communities. Through community engagement, thousands of student athletes from various backgrounds interact with community members who view them as role models. This interaction leaves a positive and perhaps even life-changing impression on all those involved. In Division II, we rise to the opportunity and make community engagement ours.
Wow, that's so many memories, I would say. I think the things that when my teammates and I get together, what we enjoy the most, I think, are just all the stories, all the things that happen between us playing against some of the best schools. You know, we played some Division I schools. We beat Eastern Illinois twice. A thrill for a Division II school to go in and to beat a Division I school. And I think we remember, you know, feeling like kind of the David versus Goliath. And that's what I think we realized, if you can come together as a group, you know, that you can have success. Well, I think any competitive person, it's tough. But I still look at it today. You know, it's been 30 years since I played competitive basketball, and in the business world and the education world, you lose, and things happen, and you go back to your playing days, and you got knocked down, and you got to get back up. So that was kind of our mantra. I think to have dreams. I just, as a little kid, I had dreams that I wanted to do something athletically, you know, and basketball was my passion. And so I don't care what it is, do something that you like, that you're passionate about. That to me is the most important thing, and then work to achieve it. And if you work hard enough at it, I think your dreams can come true, even when people tell you it'll never happen. And that to me was kind of the David versus Goliath thing. Yeah, and it's a cliche, but I do think life is a game. Life is a competition. And I think I was prepared because I competed in college, and I say the same thing to people. You kind of those same attributes. You have to work hard, you have to practice what you want to do, and you have to believe in yourself, and you have to have those dreams, and you put that package together, and I think it's a pretty good package for success. Hi, I'm Larry Tucker. I'm a former NCAA student athlete from Lewis University.
champions know how to seize opportunities. When they see moments of greatness unfold right before their eyes, they push as hard as they possibly can, and then they push harder. Because the heart of a champion never settles, never quits, and never stops giving its all. We are champions. We are Division II. We go big, we give it everything we've got, and we win. On the field, on our campuses, in our communities, for our causes, in our careers. We rise to become champions in everything we do. We are Division II, and there are no limits here. We make our time count. We set our own path. We become champions on our terms. It's time to up your game, because we're here to play and learn. But most importantly, we're here to discover ourselves, our vision, our heart, our drive, to achieve every goal we aim for, because we want to be champions at the highest level, life. At Division II, the opportunities are here. Are you ready?
If I lose, I'll respond with respect.
If I win, I'll back it up with humility.
If I fail, I'll rise up with honor. It's tough for us to put it all on the line.
Don't undo my hard work with poor sportsmanship.
Respect. It's the name of the game.
I pledge.
I am an NCAA student athlete.
And I pledge to be a champion of unity
on my team, on my campus, and in my community.
I pledge to embrace differences and strive for inclusion and collaboration.
I pledge to stand against racism, hate, and discrimination.
I pledge to strive for love, care, and forgiveness.
I pledge to stand against silence, deceit, and obscurity.
I pledge to strive for dialogue, truth, and understanding.
I pledge to stand against fear and doubt.
I pledge to strive for trust and belief in one another.
I pledge to stand against complacency and stagnancy.
I pledge to strive for change and growth.
I commit to supporting my fellow student athletes in all circumstances that impact them.
I commit to both choosing unity personally and encouraging it for all.
I pledge these things because we are stronger together.
United as one.
From court to court and lane to lane, under the lights or under the sun, no one delivers Division II sports like NCAA.com. The center of D2 is inside the NCAA.com hub, with exclusive highlights of every sport and live broadcasts of every Division II championship found nowhere else. Make NCAA.com yours, the home of Division II college sports.
Halftime is over here at Nickerson Hall. The team's back on the floor and ready to get underway. Let's take a look at the quick first half stats. The Greyhounds lead in every category. More points, less turnovers, less fouls, more steals. As dominating of a first half as you can get, but it started kind of slow. It was Ohio Christian looking pretty good to start things off. Since then, though, it's been all UINDY.
Yeah, and that's really what UINDY tried to capture at the end of that first half there as they went on a little run of their own, pretty much going up 19.
Ohio Christian did lead once in that first half. It was the 13:50 mark. They were up by 1. So, again, it was a back-and-forth first half for the first 7 minutes or so. But then after that, Greyhounds opened up a 21-point lead with a minute to go. It dropped down to 19, but it was a dominating second part of that first half. Here's a nice little turnaround jumper, and it's no good. You almost wish that we would have saw Burns maybe drive to the basket a little bit more instead of settle for the shot from mid-range. Here is Jesse Bingham, who goes for mid-range. Good start to his half. He also had a slow first half, but here he is able to get on the board pretty quickly. Bingham had 6 to start off with 5 rebounds. Long three, no good by the big man, and Christopher Richardson shoots 36% from downtown.
Both teams like to play fast, and it's something that, as you see, Tynes miss a shot there. As both teams like to play fast, as Choa puts up another rebound and gets fouled.
About that. A double-double for Kendrick Choa. He had 9 first-half rebounds. There's his 10th, and he gets up strong. It'll be Devin Miller with his second foul. He's been the bright spot for this team, though. For Devin Miller in the first half, just 6 points, but how about this, 8 rebounds. Really did a good job going up strong on the inside, and when they gave him the ball, they seemed to be pretty successful.
Let me show his 4th double-double on the year. He adds another point there.
He's got 8 straight games now where he's had double-figure scoring. He's been a menace. And he's just going to continue to climb up that all-time rebounding list here for UINDY. We mentioned he got his 500th rebound in that big win against Purdue Northwest, a game that they won 96-78. A little bit of a 4-game win streak for Indy, trying to make it 5 before they head into conference play. This is the final non-conference game of the season, the final game of the calendar year, and it is Bingham who goes up with a floater, and the soft touch results in 2.
Jesse is now in double figures with 10.
He has not gone a game this year where he hasn't put up 10 or more points.
That's consistency, right? I mean, you rely on him a lot, and he just puts up numbers after numbers after numbers, and that's something that you want to look for, and especially if you're a recruit trying to come to a school, you see that it led by great leadership there by Jesse.
And like Coach Corsaro said pregame, and Leticia talked about it in the recap of that conversation, is a 3 no good from Williams. But Jesse is, the team's best scorer. He's as consistent as they come. He's their best leader. He's one of the best assist men. He's one of the best rebounders. He just does everything. And you see him right there in front of Coach Corsaro. He's just such a fun player to watch, and I'm sure Coach loves having him on the team and coaching him up.
Yeah, super hard worker, does everything right.
Bit of a block there from Miller. Man, he's been impressive on the inside. Choa can't get it to go. Now on the other end, in transition, a triple, and it's good. That's what the Trailblazers needed, was a transition 3, and they get it. Titus Burns from downtown, and that's a timeout. With that, let's step aside. More next on UINDY TV and the GLVC Sports Network. Back here at Nickerson Hall, you see Coach Corsaro coaching up the guys. You know what, we haven't seen a whole lot of Julian Steinfeld. You see him there on the right side of the screen wearing number 21. You'll see him now when he stands up because he's the tallest guy anywhere in this building at 7 foot. He's on the floor now, though. Out there with Etherington and Nickerson, a bit of a new lineup for Indianapolis. We'll see what they can do. For Ben Nickerson, started the year as that number 1 point guard. Has seen his role decrease a bit, but he's happy with it. Good leader, one of the team captains. Here is Williams from downtown, and it's pure.
Great shot there by Williams. Got a little contact on the release. She was surprised nothing was called, but still flushed it anyway.
Had 10 points against Purdue Northwest. So far today for Williams. And he's got 5. Top of the key, straightaway 3, missed. Can't get it to go. It was Camden Primer, but the rebound, a long one from Phillips. He chased it down. Big man used to operating in the post, but he chases it. On the inside, nice little move, and it's a foul. Does a great job drawing the contact of Williams. Can't get the shot to go, but How about that little drive on that right side from Cassius Bell?
I thought Williams was playing great defense there, and he, in my opinion, didn't really commit a foul, but just great defense there, forcing an awkward shot and drawing the foul there by Cassius Bell.
This Trailblazers team, they're a high-scoring bunch. They average 80 a game. That's compared to the 77 for the Greyhounds. Of course, a different level of competition, but they can put up a lot of points. Defense isn't quite as good, but if you start to take the foot off the gas a little bit, OCU could get right back in this game in a hurry.
I mean, UINDY is holding their opponents to 60 points per game, so it's something that Ohio Christian really needed to take into account, that the UINDY defense is for real.
Ball poked away, and now in transition, a fast break, just the first one of the game for the team in blue, but they can't get it to go. That is a heartbreaker for a team that prides themselves on fast break points. Still none. They only have 4 points off turnovers. Not taking advantage of opportunities, but you know who is? That's Jesse Bingham. Adds on to his total for the day with that mid-range J. He's got 12.
That could
6 of 8 shooting.
That could have been a good spark for that offense.
Talk about a spark. How about that? Flying in and dropping it in. That's Nick Phillips. And look at this one. He just drops it right in.
Etherington puts up a 3, no good. Rebounded there by Smith.
Here's a chance in transition. They're doing a good job moving quickly and can't get the 3. A bit of a tough shot, high contest, and it's Steinfeld with the rebound. His first. He's only played 4 minutes today. Most of those coming right now. Williams loses the ball. A little too fancy, and it just goes right out of bounds. That's the 9th turnover for Indianapolis. How about that? A little Christmas gift from UIndy as they've given up 9 of those turnovers. Again, they only average 11. 9 here, 5 minutes into half number 2. Let's go down to the sideline. Leticia, what do you have for us?
Corsaro just mentioned in their little team meeting to Julian Steinfeld, UIndy's tallest player, that he should focus on helping blocking the sides of the arc because that's where they're lacking. UIndy is leading this New Year's game, making all the fans happy. We'll be right back right here on UIndy TV and the GLVC Sports Network.
Award-winning news coverage. Brought to you by ethical journalists that care about you. We have you covered on crime, latest on sports, and the best in entertainment. This is UIndy TV News.
Back here and ready to get going as OCU is going to take the ball up the floor. We'll see Caleb Smith at the point guard position. Navigates traffic and feeds his man. How about this? Mid-range J is smooth. Not a bad shot there. That was Eliza Moore from Lawrenceburg, Indiana. A couple of Indiana natives here on this Ohio team. Here's Walker, goes up strong. He's hit as he makes the shot. And one.
Great use of his right hand there to put it up and avoid the contact to the ball.
So we'll see Walker from the line. So far this season, Jarvis Walker shooting just under 80% from that charity stripe. He's a transfer from Purdue-Fort Wayne when they played Purdue Northwest just a week and a half ago. At 26 points. How about that? Not quite the same scoring day today, but he's starting to heat up. For Jarvis Walker, that's 5 points. Also has a rebound and 2 assists. Inside the feed, picked away by the aforementioned Walker. Now going up and slamming it down. Jesse Bingham. And another steal, another cough up from Miller, and he's shaking his head. Devin Miller's been the team best player today, but he can't get that one, a handle on it 2 times in a row. Here's a nice little rebound and put back, but a foul. Miller picked up his 3rd foul. We're going to see him head to the bench, I'm sure, Drew. That's huge for this team.
My goodness. That dunk there by Jesse Bingham was just all frustration brought out there. Took off from pretty much the GLVC in the paint, and he slammed that thing home.
Good news for Ohio Christian, no one was underneath the basket because they would have been vaporized. What a slam. Here's the first of a pair from the line, successful from Choa. Man, he's having himself a good day. He's doing good scoring. He's got this 17 points. He's doing good rebounding with 11. He's got 2 blocks, so he leads the team in 3 categories. But how about this? 5 of 5 from the free throw line. He never does that. It's been really impressive from Kendrick Choa. And as I say that, he misses, but the rebound, hey, maybe this will be good for the Greyhounds. It's still been so impressive how good he's been shooting from that line. Here's a 3 from the corner. Sean Craig. He says, no, we don't want the 1 point. Give me 3 instead. And the Greyhounds increase that lead. And now in transition again, Ija alone, layup successful. David Ija now joins the 10-point club. 3 Greyhounds in double figures, and he's got 10 and 1.
Greyhound defense is coming pretty insufferable for this Trailblazer offense.
And their offense is picking up right where they left off against Purdue Northwest. They almost hit the 100-point mark then. Today they're well on pace with 71.
Yeah, their defense is looking fantastic as they force back-to-back turnovers there.
Do get a foul here, though. So a bit of a mistake. But, again, the Greyhounds, they're the top team in the conference when it comes to limiting fouls on defense. And they've done a pretty good job here today of not fouling too much. It was a lot of fouls early, but then they slowed down. So far, just 8 personal fouls called against the team. 2 of those have come this half. One of them happened just in front of us. The layup is successful. Nice dish inside the backdoor cut for Eliza Moore. And he drops it in. Had 8 points and 4 rebounds against Findlay on Thursday. Robinson's seen a slow afternoon. He passes it to Walker, who's been heating up. Walker goes inside by himself, gets fouled to the line. Foul number 4 for the team in blue.
Yeah, they're very physical down low, for especially lacking size against this Greyhound offense. And normally results in a foul every time.
Trying to increase the 30-plus point lead. Jarvis Walker, he's really proven that he can get some more playing time for this team, especially after that 26-point performance, a career high for him. Hits both. The Greyhounds hold their largest lead of the contest. Here's Faulkner. Will Morrison played sparingly in that first half. Played well when he was on the floor, though. Dishes it to his teammate who sees a double team. Wilhelm loses it, but it will retain in possession of the Greyhounds. Bounced off the hand of a Hound.
The Greyhound defense has picked up a lot here to start this second half.
Really suffocating this offense, Drew. It's been fun to watch. And there's a good example of it.
There's another example of it. A block shot there by David Ija.
That's the 6th block of this contest by the Greyhounds. How about a New Year's Eve block party? Ija floats inside, tries the fancy dish, can't get it to go. And that fine china breaks on the inside. Here's a mid-range from behind that charity stripe, and it's a miss. A little too shy, Josh Wilhelm. Here's another drive to the left. Looks for some contact. Can't get it. Missed shot. Rebound. Made shot. David Ija. He's got 12 points now. Starting pretty good. Ija goes up trying to block that 3. Can't, but disrupts it enough. Too strong. Rebound. Inside. Stolen away by Kendrick Choa. And he hands it off to Robinson. Robinson near the hound. It's going to be Sean Craig showing a dominating move, but it's picked away from his pocket. Kickball gives the ball to the Trailblazers, and that brings us to another media timeout. How about that? A good run for Indianapolis. They are now holding their largest lead of the game, up by 35. Let's hear what Leticia has to say about those last few minutes. Leticia, what do you have for us?
Jesse Bingham is standing out as always, giving everyone a slam dunk. Just a couple moments ago, the UINDY bench went absolutely crazy. Corsaro is definitely happy about how the game is going and how the Greyhounds are reacting to every action. We'll be right back right here on UINDY TV and the GLVC Sports Network.
Hey, it's Giselle here on 88.7 WICR.
88.7 The Diamond, the only jazz and classical station in Indianapolis, completely led by the students of the University of Indianapolis. Listen to us on iHeartRadio, TuneIn app, FM radio, HD radios, or even on our website at wicronline.org, a different kind of public radio.
Welcome back here to Nickerson Hall. You see Julian Steinfeld there. We'll see what he can do here in the run he's about to get. Ohio Christian, they'll move the ball around. Just looking for something, Drew, something that they can do to get a spark going.
Yeah, they've been held scoreless over the last few minutes. I mean, UINDY's on a 16-5 run, if that shows anything about how the dominance of the UINDY defense is coming out.
Continuing to add to their biggest lead of the game. Here is Tynes to the corner. Williams, quick three, and he's a little bit off. Here's another three from the other corner. This time it is good. Josh Wilhelm drains a triple. He's made just a quarter of his shots from the outside, but that one is good.
And that might get them going just a little bit, but I mean, they're down 22 right now, and it's becoming very hard to come back.
Won the game against Findlay. You know, they lost by 10, but it was a high-scoring game, real close against a good D2 school. Findlay, one of the better teams in the GMAC. They made 12 three-pointers. They shot 48% from downtown. I think that's a big difference. When they can get going and really heat up from beyond the arc, that's money for them. They just haven't been able to do so today.
I credit that to the UINDY defense. I mean, they're playing so well that Ohio Christian can't get going.
Craig bounces one around. It's a miss, but how about the putback? Tipping it back in almost accidentally, it looked like. Was he trying to pull down the board instead? It goes in and add two to the scoring column for Steinfeld there. Nice little turnaround spinning shot. Can't get it to go. The 7-footer with the board. Right wing, triple. It can't go. And this time, a long rebound tracked down by Morrison in transition. 3-on-2 goes up and can't get the points. Out of bounds. It'll remain Trailblazer ball, but missed opportunity there.
I mean, we've seen as the Trailblazers have gotten into transition, they've been able to get to the bucket. They just haven't been able to capitalize on it. So that's what's really flawing them right now, is like they've had the opportunities, they've just not capitalized.
They've got 6 fast break points, both coming from beyond the arc, as we see a foul here. So only 6 fast break points. They went into halftime without any. I'm sure that was a big key message from head coach Casey Coons in his 5th year with the team that, hey, we need to get the ball in transition and start to put up some points in that regard, because that's one thing. That's one way to tire out a good defense, is to get the ball in transition quickly and put up some points that way.
Yeah, and it'll throw UINDY off their game. I mean, once they set up that defense, then it's pretty much over for the Trailblazers.
Passing the ball around the perimeter. Coach Corsaro says he'd like to see his perimeter defense tightened up a little bit. As Leticia said, another block. Number 7 for the team, number 3 for Jesse Bingham. Man, he has been outstanding. Jesse Bingham, you see him on your screen there. Sizing up Burns. Goes inside, almost falls, keeps his footing, and kicks it out. How about that? What balance, what concentration.
Great recovery by Jesse, not to fluster and throw the ball away. Just he held his ground, found the open man, and kept the possession going.
A normal player, they would give up on that play. They'd fall to the ground. They would lose the ball, probably a turnover. He's not a normal player, and he'll be there on the right side of your screen to inbound as Ben Nickerson launches it in. Gets it over the corner. Etherington for 3, and he can't. That bricks off the front end of the iron. 3 on the other end, right wing missed. A little bit off was the shot from Eliza Moore. Could have been big. The man from Lawrenceburg, Indiana. Here's Jesse inside, long layup, and he uses his length to his advantage there with a left-hander.
Jesse should be called the closer at this point because as the games get going, he becomes greater and greater, and he just shows out why he's one of the best people in the GLVC, if not the nation.
16 points. Credit him with a steal there as well. He's just been playing such an all-around great game, and it started slow, but since then he's really picked it up. 8 of 11 from the field, 4 rebounds, 6 assists. He just got his second steal with 3 blocks. I mean, well, if you're looking for a player of the game, I know there's still 9 minutes to go, but it's not hard to find one.
There's 2 in my opinion right now. I mean, Cho has played great, and so has Bingham.
It's been fun to watch those 2 guys lead this squad. And, of course, it's the 2 guys that Leticia highlighted pregame. How about that? She knew what she was doing. We'll give her a little bit of credit for the performance of these 2 guys. Here's Tynes. Nice little behind-the-back dish. And it's a miss, though. How about the rebound and put back from Choa? His 19th point, his 14th rebound. He's a monster. You're right. I think you have to give him the player of the game.
Choa is 2 points away from his career high at 21.
That's interesting, too. You'd think he would have had a higher career high as often as he gets some run, but especially the last couple years, he's struggled with foul trouble. This year has not been the case, especially this game. Kendrick Choa has yet to commit a single foul. He's just dominating inside. We highlighted the term bullying quite a bit today. He's been a bully inside there, and there's really no competition for that man in Kendrick Choa. He's the biggest guy on the floor right now. Bigger than any player wearing a blue jersey. And he gets a little assist here if this one's good, and it is. Ben Nickerson from downtown. Nickerson shooting almost 50% from beyond the arc. And against Purdue Northwest, he had 4 rebounds, so he does more than just shoot. Played just 8 minutes in that game against the Pride, but does a good job there. We got the media timeout. The Greyhounds continuing to extend this big lead that they have. They are ahead by 41 points. The race to 100 is on, but first let's hear from Leticia. What do you got?
Going into tonight's game, I think we all expected a high-scoring game, but UINDY really surprised us all, being able to dominate the defense and put themselves in positions to succeed. With under 8 minutes left, Choa, Bingham, and Ija have been scoring leaders throughout the game. So don't go anywhere just yet, and stay tuned to watch the rest of this amazing game right here on UINDY TV and the GLVC Sports Network.
We got Tennessee, Georgia.
Georgia, easily, man.
Come on, Tennessee's 8.5-point dogs. Easiest spread of all time.
How?
Because they're good, and Georgia's played nobody.
At least Georgia has a defense.
Oh, come on. You're an IU fan. Your opinion doesn't matter.
My opinion doesn't matter. The only thing you know as a Purdue fan is how to lose to a 15 seed in the March Madness tournament.
We're bowl eligible, my guy. Are you? Make sure to tune in to Last Call Monday nights. We'll talk about Division I football, give you plenty of UINDY sports, some interviews in there as well, and then plenty of pro sports, whether it be NFL, MLB, the whole shebang.
Yeah, and there's at least one guy that knows what he's talking about.
Back on the floor at Nickerson Hall. quick shot from the corner, and it's good. It's a good way to get the offense going. Chapman Faulkner from Dayton, Ohio, with a nice little triple there. How about this? Was 4 or 5 from downtown against Findlay. That's good for 16 points he had off the bench. The Greyhounds looking to figure out some more offense here. It's a good part in the game just to put some stuff on tape, figure out what they can do, play around with some different formations, play around with some different lineups. As one is here that goes up for a nice little runner. The teardrop shot good from Jarvis Walker. And he now has 9.
Another Greyhound closing in on double figures.
Got a lot of those. Can't wait to see at the end of the game how many end up with 10 or more points. We'll even have a couple with 20 as a deep 3 from straightaway. This is what the doctor ordered. The Trailblazers really hitting some great shots from downtown, and they need that. That was Camden Primer. He's got just 2 starts this year. He's never scored over 5 points, but how about this? He's doing pretty good at the 5-point mark right now. A big pass out to Craig. He goes inside, and he hits it. Sean Craig now has double figures scoring with 11. He joins Bingham with 16. Joa with 19. Ija with 12. That's the 4th Greyhound, and there's a lot more that are going to come. Here's another triple. And another good one. Wasn't anywhere near touching the rim. That was a pretty shot from Chapman Faulkner.
He has 16, or he had 16 points off the bench against Findlay. Was 4 or 5 from beyond the arc.
He makes a second straight from downtown this game. Nice little shot, but it's unsuccessful from Ija. Ija's having a good game as well. He's had a good stretch of games. What do you like from him?
Just his play down low, as you can see here. I mean, he gets down there and he puts up good shots, and he takes contact very well. He doesn't give up on a play.
Oh, thought about another 3 instead of mid-range from the right elbow, and it's crisp and clear. Eliza Moore with a great one. And now suddenly the offense wakes up. We could have a fun second half here in front of us. Etherington waits to come back in. So does Nick Phillips for the blue team. Here's Craig, triple. He's a left-hander. That one just a little too far to the left side of the rim and complete on the other end. A lot of contact, and the shot was good. Are they going to count the shot as an and one? I think they're still debating on this one. I think they should, right? You count that basket?
Yeah, I mean, it looked like in the act of shooting, Bruno took a fall pretty hard on his head.
He went up to try to block, realized he was in no man's land, did the whole Scooby-Doo up in midair trying to just get out of the way, and lands on the back of Primer, who hits the 2. But looks like they are going to give it to him, so here's an and one.
Yeah, this Trailblazer offense is starting to click over the last couple minutes.
They're already almost at their first half total. They hit 29 in half number 1. They've already hit 28 there, and there's still 5 to go. A chance to find something on tape for these guys. And again, for the Trailblazers, it's an exhibition game. This game will not count on their 5-8 record. They'll go back to conference play against St. Mary of the Woods. It's a nice block there, but too much contact. Richardson picks up a foul. That'll be his 4th, so probably see him to the bench. But for this team, they're not out here trying to get a win, because even if they won, it would not count towards their record. It's just a game that they can come out, knock off a little bit of rust after Christmas, after that Christmas break, and just see if they can find some good stuff on film. Size up their guys against one of the better teams here in Division II. I'd say a top 30 team in the nation. And honestly, they've been pretty impressive the last few minutes. It's kind of a slow start, but they've been impressive the last few minutes. I think you always want to leave with a win, but it's not going to be a complete failure if they don't get near the Greyhounds in scoring today.
And it's not like they have anything to be mad at. I mean, they've played good ball over the last, as a deep 3's thrown up. But
yeah, goodness, a 30-footer almost.
They've played good ball over the last half or so. So, I mean, they should hold their heads high here.
Maybe not when you take a shot like that. I'm sure Coach Kuhn's not going to be happy with a shot that was taken about 2 steps in front of where he sits on the far end of the bench. Take a step up before you hit that shot. Richardson's going to stay in the game, but plays with 4 fouls. Here's a three, unsuccessful, trying to get the rebound, too much contact, it's a foul. So for Richardson, what's the mindset like? You're a physical guy, you're put in here to guard the big men for the Greyhounds. Luckily they're playing with a smaller lineup now, but you got 4 fouls. How hard does that make it to play basketball?
Extremely. I mean, you have to be careful with everything you're doing, and especially with the physicality that he's played with the entire game. He's bound to get another one here soon. I mean, we do have 4:18 left in the ball game, but it's just kind of something you need to be cautious of.
Mid-range jumper, nowhere near the rim. Hits off the bottom right corner of that backboard. A pretty ugly shot. Almost loses the inbounds pass. Instead, here he goes inside. Richardson with the feed. Driving, but kicked out. How about that? Aaron Etherington, nice little poke check. Picked back up by Wilhelm. It's Morrison. Launches a cross-court pass. 3 to shoot. They're going to have to get one out. It'll be a deep 3 from 25 feet. Can't get it to go. Rebound goes to Walker. Taking the shot was Morrison. He's made less than a third of his threes. Here, coming in hard. Offensive foul. The bucket does not count.
That's a pretty bold call to make at this stage in the game.
And with that, the teams can contemplate that play at the media timeout as we prepare to head down to the sideline with Leticia Vaselli here in just a moment. The Greyhounds have scored 90. Leticia, what are your thoughts?
Looks like the Greyhounds will be heading into the new year with a 12-2 overall score, and the coaching staff could not be happier. Corsaro mentioned in the pregame how big of a deal this would be going into next year, and we will be hearing from him in just a couple of minutes on what he has to say. So if you want to hear that, stay tuned right here on the GLVC Sports Network and UINDY TV.
Award-winning news coverage. Brought to you by ethical journalists that care about you. We have you covered.
The final stanza in front of us from Nickerson Hall, the Greyhounds. A big lead over Ohio Christian. Right now, just trying to find something to put on tape, put up a few more points. Pass goes to Phillips, kicks it out for a 3, can't get it. Taking that shot was Camden Primer. Another 3 on the other end, some new faces into the game now. That one was Joey Bamba, but he can't get it to go.
Redshirt freshman out of Bloomington South High School.
Nickerson inbounds it, stolen away. Some life. Elijah Moore on the other end. He's played well, kicks it off. This could be an assist for him. It won't be, though. Poor shot from Wilhelm. Can't get it to go. Craig, dribble drive, spins around. Great look, but he can't get it to go. His teammate cleans up. How about Ija? That's his 14th point. This is a new career high for him. Previous was 13, surpasses it with that shot. He's played very well. The transfer from the NAIA St. Francis. With a bucket, can't get it to go. A lane to the basket that was, but he was fouled.
It's good to see some of the younger guys getting time here. Getting that experience. It's happened a couple times so far this year. Elijah Moore to the line, and that will shoot 2. 79% free throw shooter on the year. Puts the first one up and is good.
Second free throw. It bounces around. It's good as well. Elijah Moore, he's playing pretty well today. A bright spot for this team. He's got double figures, 11 points. And you see, look at that, the assistant coach for Ohio Christian University. Typically, we don't highlight a lot of assistant coaches, right? Well, this one's a little different. James Hollowell, been with the team for 5 years, but before that, he played for UINDY. Played with Coach Corsaro. Of course, Corsaro was a graduate assistant, so an assistant coach there, where Hollowell was a player, but here he played his final year of eligibility with the Greyhounds. He's from North Central High School, just about a half hour north of here. Played at UINDY in 2012, the 2013 season. Earned all GLVC accolades. Was a great player for that single year as the UINDY alumni. He was honored before the game started. 26 points and 8 rebounds he had in the NCAA tournament game that year against Bellarmine. Ended up being their third straight tournament appearance and was just a monster for a year for this team. A lot of fun to watch back in the day, and Coach Corsaro, a lot of respect for him as he comes home and plays a game in front of his alma mater. Meanwhile, the referee in front of us doing some high knees, trying to stay awake. Here's the three. It's good. How about that? A nice triple from Joey Bamba. Bamba's first points.
Good to see the bench enjoying that as well. Just having fun for the guy.
We see some guys on the floor that don't typically get a lot of runs, so it's a great chance for them to show off what they can do. It's a good chance to get some eyes on their game and see if they can earn some more playing time. Inside, stolen away. Well, the ball's still in contest, and it goes out on the Greyhounds. Off the knee of Bamba. Nice play there. Pretty impressive little scrappy play from Morrison. Conversation between referee Eric Lowe, Kenny Ludlow, and Ramonte Dishmar, the three referees for this contest. As we reach the 60-second mark. Bouncing around. It'll be a foul. We've seen a lot of those today, Drew. Something I'm sure the Greyhounds are going to want to clean up. Of course, like we said earlier, the top team in the conference when it comes to limiting fouls. They did have 14 today, which is a good number, but for the Trailblazers, 17 fouls, and a lot of them came early. Really forced a lot of extra bonus shots in that first half for the Greyhounds. Big reason why they were able to get that first half lead.
Yeah, both teams really struggled on the foul end today. I mean, 8 and 8. It's just kind of a rough way to go out.
From charity stripe, Ija bounces in and out, rebound, a nice one from Camden Primer. In transition, they lose the ball. Stolen away. That time it was Joey Bamba who picked it up. Right now, A.J. Hollibar is going to walk it across the puppy in the middle of the floor. He'll drive all the way in. Nice little floater, and that's what we talk about, Drew. Those are the moments that you want to put on tape.
Great drive through the lane, puts it up, and gets it to go in.
The Greyhounds are a 3 away from hitting back-to-back 100-point home games. It'll be a tough task with 23 seconds, but we'll see what they can do here. Nickerson's going to walk it up and just park it. That'll be the final score, 97-59. How about this stretch? I mentioned how they had over 100 points in their last home game. They also put up 96 on the road at Purdue Northwest and 97 today. They are a high-scoring team. They're going to continue to increase this points average. A lot of confidence heading into conference play, which starts up in just a week. They travel to Drury, and then they really hit the ground running with a stretch of conference games. They do finish out the non-conference slate undefeated, though. 11-2 improves the Greyhounds' record with this big win.
And it's just a great play by everybody involved on the team today. As you can see, we had a lot of people in double figures. Showick had another double-double on the year, and it's just been it was a great day for a game.
19 points and 14 rebounds for Choa. Bingham had 16. Ejaw had 14. 11 for Walker and Craig, so 5 total. And we're going to get an interview with head coach Paul Corsaro now here in just a moment or two with Leticia Vaselli. Should be an interesting conversation. I'm sure high spirits going into the new year. Leticia, what do you got?
All right, we are down here. Congratulations, Coach Corsaro. So, Coach, in pregame, you mentioned how important it would be to finish an 11-2 this year. How does that motivate you for the rest of the season in 2023?
It was a great 2022. Guys should feel good about it. But, that just didn't happen. There was a lot of hard work, the way we went about our business. So we seem to keep doing what we're doing and know that as great as that is, it really doesn't matter. It's on to the next phase.
And, Coach, since it is New Year's and we're going into 2023, what are some of your goals for the rest of the season?
Take it one game at a time and get better every single day.
That's great motivation, too. And Choa added 14 more rebounds today. Talk about his effect on the team and his career bests.
He's a man. There's nothing else to say. He's a grown man. I love him. He knows that. And I think he's the best big in the country.
Thank you so much, Coach. Congratulations again. Back to you, boys. Happy New Year, everyone.
Thanks, Leticia. Big thanks to Coach Corsaro for that one. Drew, give me a player of the game. A great game for Indianapolis scoring-wise.
I'm going to go with two players of the game here, Nathaniel. I'm going to go with Kendrick Choa. Had 19 points, 14 rebounds, has another double-double on his career. Hit 500 rebounds in his career here at the University of Indianapolis and was 2 points away from his career high. My second one is Jesse Bingham. Had 16 points, 8 from 11 from the field, 6 assists and 3 blocks to his name. He just played great team basketball from him as well.
Greyhounds win 97-59. They've got a road trip at Drury. That's next Saturday. And then you'll hear from us on the 12th of January. A couple of Missouri teams coming in to Indianapolis, Missouri S&T on the 12th. And then Saturday, it's going to be a high-powered matchup between the number 11 Missouri, St. Louis, UMSL Tritons. That is on January 14th. So a couple big games coming up. Those will both be double headers with the women's team as well. Should be a fun January coming up. A lot of home games here. 4 straight for them after they make that Drury trip. The Greyhounds, a lot in front of them, trying to make a push at this conference, and it starts here in just a week or two.
Yeah, and I'm excited. I mean, everything the GLVC is super close right now at the top, and it's just been a fight for the last couple of years, and I think UINDY has a chance to win the whole thing, especially the regular season and the tournament.
That's Drew Ranke. Our sideline reporter was Leticia Vasili. Camera operators, Alima Jones, Derek Jones, no relation, and Logan Wong over there. Our director is Grayson Holt. 2 producers. We've got 2 of them over there, Rick Dunkel and Brandon Barger. And that's our crew for UINDY TV. For Leticia Vasili and Drew Ranke, I'm Nathaniel Finch saying see you next year. Signing off from Nickerson Hall.